All right. It claims we are live.
All right. Good evening, everybody. We are actually a minute early. Go figure.
Well, it's better than
Thank
15 minutes late because of technical difficulties.
uh, yeah, let's not. The rain is starting to come down. It's pouring and it's freezing. I actually just turned on the little heater in the bedroom. But thank you for joining Rex Sisters. We appreciate it. Today is Thursday, October 30th at exactly 7 p.m. I do believe tomorrow is Halloween.
Yes, it
Uh,
is.
that's hard to believe that the holidays are now upon us. You know that? It really
Uh,
is.
it's a lot to take in that this year is almost over.
It's I just, where did it go? I mean, it really just is going by so quickly.
It's
Already,
getting there. Oh, I
yeah,
see we
so,
have an Arby in the chat.
hey, Arby, how you doing? Uh, yeah, we have the clocks we're gonna fall back. So that's good news. We get to at least have a extra hour's worth of sleep. I'll take that. But what I
Oh,
don't like
Arby's
about
got a joke. Arby's got a question. What is a ghost? What is a ghost's favorite fruit?
I've heard that before. Hmm. I don't remember. Ghost berries. Oh fudge. What is the answer to this question? Leave. Keep that high blue. Keep that for. Keep throwing that out as the day goes on, and then Arby could give us the answer at the end.
I think I know it, but I like the idea of leaving everyone else to guess.
Uh huh. Maybe it'll come to my mind what the heck the answer is. Hmm. But yeah, it's hard to believe it's all just flying on by. We'll be in
That it
2026.
is.
We'll be in 2026 before you know it. Don't forget, as I mentioned, we have daylight savings time. We're going to fall back. And then Tuesday, November the 4th, is uh, voting. And of course, my father in law would pop in and want to be, oh, okay.
And for any of our geriatrics or our Medicaid people, we also have open enrollment on Saturday.
Correct. And that should count for other people that are on the Obamacare.
Yeah,
It should
anyone
be
with who's on any kind of government type borderline funded, partially funded, it's all going to be in there.
right. Um, and as I mentioned previously, if anybody has any different experience, uh, we wouldn't mind hearing from you because where I'm located, the Obamacare, or the ACA as they'd like to also go by, is the exact same price as if you would shop the insurance company yourself.
Yeah, they
So
really don't help you with anything.
uh, it was supposed to be the be all to save all, and all it did was increase insurance rates. So
Yep.
it did absolutely nothing for anybody. It made the rates higher. There was no
Yeah.
there's a benefit if you're in the lower income bracket, but
Yeah.
for the most
It,
part, it's
it's like the middle class, the
yeah,
upper middle class. You get an actual benefit. Lower middle class, you're trapped between paying that price or no insurance at all
right.
because you don't qualify for Medicaid. It
Hmm.
sucks. But the upper
Well,
middle class gets a decent
well,
cut rate.
well, no, it's still exactly the same dollar amount. So the Obamacare amount is the
Yeah, I
exact
mean, if they
same.
were buying it straight, yeah, but it's still cheaper than. Well, no, it's not. It's just
No, it's the
they
same.
made it to where it's easy. Well, no, it's not even easy to get signed up. So fuck it. Obamacare didn't do jack shit. I'm
Exactly.
trying. I'm
Thank you.
trying to find a way to make it good.
Thank you. There's nothing good about it. Absolutely none. There's
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
know. I was trying to play devil's advocate and I failed.
and you and you came to the same conclusion, right?
No, I already knew it was jack shit from the get go, but the problem is, for the sake of everybody else, I'm,
Right.
I'm
And if you're
trying still.
right, and if you're upper middle class, typically you're going to have some type of
Job that
employee
provides
sponsor.
insurance.
Yep, or you're going to be able to sign up on your spouse's insurance.
Uh
Uh,
huh.
so yeah, Obamacare sucks, and nobody
It
will
does.
address the big white black elephant in the room.
I
Uh huh.
do. I've complained about it for years, even as a
Yep.
medical assistant. I mean, it helped my mom to a degree when my mom didn't qualify for Medicaid, but it was a well, no, I'm sorry. It helped where my mom was able to qualify for Medicaid. It made a slight change where my mother, who was on private disability, not Social Security,
Uh huh.
what they changed a little bit of the bracketing system, and it helped my mom to qualify for Medicaid. That used to be the spend down Medicaid, where she would have to spend a couple $1,000s on medical, rack up a couple thousand in medical bills in order for the Medicaid to take over the rest of the month.
Right.
Each
Right.
month she would have to rack up $2,000 in medical bills just to get Medicaid to pick up the rest.
Wow.
And we found a way, because of Obamacare, we were able to fill out the application, and because of her health condition and her income bracket, she then qualified, which was a nightmare before that, because no matter how sick she was, no matter what we put on the applications, they didn't give two shits. It was the income bracket. And
Mm
so with the slight change, it was able to help her, but for the most part, more people suffered than were benefiting from it.
hmm.
It
It
just
is.
made it look like something was happening, kind of like with some of the way Trump goes and runs ahead. Oh, look it, it's great, it's great, and then it turns out, oh wait, I got a back step. Yeah,
Uh huh.
Obama never took the backtrack. He just said, keep saying it's great,
Yep.
even though it wasn't, and it totally failed.
And they still continue to push that narrative that it's great, and it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And now the perpetual lie is, oh, because of the shutdown, you're going to see everybody's premium's going to go up by $2,000. Okay,
Yeah,
enough
because of
lie.
the lack of funding to the Medicaid, they're going
Uh,
to try jacking it up elsewhere until the
mm-hmm.
government reopens. But you know it'll never go down even after the government reopens.
Nope, nope.
Once a price goes up, it's not going to
Yep,
come back down.
nope. And that includes, and that's what we said in regards when we did Economics Week,
Yep.
where uh, prices on food, the sizes of bags of things, or not even a bag, the weight of anything that got reduced and the prices were increased.
The bags of chips
For
now
do-
have more air than they do chips. I mean,
yes.
they always were half air to begin with, but now it's three quarters air.
Well, and not only that, but that bag of regular potato chips that used to be sold in the gas station as the big grab. You could get one of those drinks and that bag of potato chips for like under $2. Now, that same bag of potato chips is on sale for $3 at Walmart. Make that make
Um,
sense?
Blue wants to add in that her nephew's surgery went well. I'm sorry I didn't get a hold of you. My ex sister in law's mother broke her ankle, and I spent most of the day either half passed out or completely passed out or dealing with that. But I am so glad it went through really smoothly. That's great. But
Awesome
for the
news.
price, yeah, the price it went up because they can jack it up, but
Hmm.
it's not going to go back down ever.
And people will pay.
Mm-hmm. Just like the group, people will always buy fast food over cooking at home. There are some people who will only eat fast food, other people who will only cook at home.
Right.
They're
Yep.
not going to change.
Well, we had some nasty food for dinner. I don't even know what the hell you would call it. Well, I
Mm.
told you I thought it was like cat food on a bun.
Seems about right. I
It,
mean, you can doctor those sandwiches up to a degree if
uh,
you
it
want to
was,
add seasonings to it,
and
and then put it back on the
there was no,
sandwich.
no. After the first bite, I was like, "What?" Then I took the second bite, and I was like, "Nah, ain't working." The dog had it, so what can you do when he comes home from with food from the gas station? Mm-hmm. Oh well.
Well, you make do, or you
So
just find
we're
what
gonna
you have laying around the house leftover
be
wise,
having
or
ramen when
something
we're
like
done.
that.
You know, we're gonna go to
Yep.
ramen when we're done.
Lack of options, you make do.
Yep. All right. So what else is going on? Anything?
Just prayers for my ex sister in law's mother. Her ankle, it's broken really bad, but it did not go through the skin. But the bone is broken and it shifted, so the ankle dislocated on top of a break, and then the bone was shifted, so she's probably going to need pins and screws. It's not pretty, and so that's on the to do list. It's like, and that's why there's no guys in the house right now, is because all three males were sent to help fix another vehicle. So they have a third running vehicle. Hopefully tonight it'll be working and get a few other things taken care of. It's just been chaos here. So, but I'm cozy in a warm bed. I have my electric blanket on, level two. So it's like 100 degrees and I'm nice and cozy. Because it's like 50 degrees in the house. My daughter's probably under a pile of stuffed animals and blankets to stay warm.
There you go.
But we're saving on the bills by not turning on the heat yet. When it gets
Right.
40 during the day, we'll turn the heat on full time.
Right. Yeah. I with the propane being so expensive, I keep the house low, and then I have those electric space heaters, and if I need it, I turn it on in
Yep.
whatever area I'm at. Uh, like in the morning when I move to the living room and kitchen, when the baby comes in, I'll turn it on just to take the chill off.
We
Uh,
basically do the same thing. We do enough to keep the chill out, but we
mm,
still bundle up in extra clothing.
yep, I'm in sweatpants and a long sleeve shirt.
Yep. I have me and my daughter both have a pair of the they're like wool socks, but they have the slipper grips on them, so you're not slipping on the floor.
Right,
That we wear, and if we have to, we double up. I will put on a pair of leggings and a long sleeve T-shirt underneath my sweater and sweatpants. I lived in Michigan.
right,
I know how to stay warm. I ain't gonna be cold. Everything is in the house is electric. Yeah, that's our place too. Everything except the
yep,
furnace, air conditioning.
yep,
Everything else is electric.
right,
We get hit with. We pay what is it, $100 every 2 weeks. So two, well, and sometimes in the summer it's more. We end up going through like 150 every 2 weeks, and we keep most of our stuff off. But I can't breathe in the heat down here, so I have to keep it no higher than 70 in the house, and so it kills on the electric bill, but it's to keep my skin from itching nonstop and psoriasis flare up and my asthma flaring up. I just cannot do the heat. So I'll take the air conditioning in the summer, and I try not to make it too warm in the winter. We try to keep the house 68 to 70 year round.
right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Same thing, all electric except for the furnace and air
Yep.
conditioner.
Yep. Our electric, our dryer, our stove, water
Uh huh.
heater, it's
Yep.
all electric.
Mhm.
Yeah, save the environment, right? These jackasses don't know how electricity is made.
Mhm. Oh, I wonder how that. Oh, I thought that it just came down from the sky. You know,
Yeah,
thunderbolt
magically.
hit and poof, yeah, poof, and there you go.
Forget the coal and the gas that is used to generate the electricity.
Uh huh. Plus, our electric grid sucks.
Oh, and don't forget the electric cars to save the environment. And
Oh
yes,
yeah.
all the grids that like to
Uh,
catch fire and burn.
mm-hmm. And how heavy they are. Yep. All right. So
Yep,
what do you got up
pure
for us first?
insanity. What I have up for us first is um where to go? Screen share. There we are. Okay. This was the first thing on the list.
Right.
If I can enlarge it, I will. Yep, I can. There we go. Is that good enough or bigger
That's
needed?
good. Yeah, this is from Andy No, as everybody knows. He has been on the ground uh, in various cities reporting on Antifa, some of the BLM, other issues, and he has been arrested and he has been beaten numerous times. Equipment's been damaged. So, right now, he's been embedded in Portland. And so, in a final move to argue the city doesn't need the National Guard to maintain order, this past weekend, Portland police and state troopers dismantled and confiscated leftover Antifa riot camp supplies. He asked the question, why didn't they do this months ago? And there's a
Amen.
video.
Why didn't they do it months ago?
Huh?
Hey,
And there's a
cannabis.
video. Hi, Cannabis. Good to see you.
Let
And
me
there's a
play
video to
this
go
nice
with it.
little video.
Yeah, check this out.
I'm gonna run you out of my city, Nick. Nick, I'm gonna run you out of my city. You better get the fuck out of my city, Nick.
Huh. It's about damn time. They should have been doing this months ago, to be quite honest. Why'd they wait till now when Trump's really pushing National Guard
It's because he's pushing for the National Guard that they did it.
to protect the federal land?
Right.
And now they're cleaning it up, making it look all different.
It looks pretty dusty. One, two,
Two
three.
big moving trucks of
Uh huh.
equipment
And a
and
little
stuff.
pickup truck. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is just unbelievable.
Wow, but oh, they're peaceful until Trump says, well, I'm going to bring in the National Guard to protect more National Guard to protect ICE facility. All of a sudden, the stuff
Mm-hmm.
disappears.
Mm-hmm. Kind
Yeah.
of reminds me of let's see, San Francisco. What's
The
that up
city in
there in
Texas that cleaned up
Chicago?
for China.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah. Things, isn't it amazing how swiftly things can move when you wanted to?
Hmm.
Huh. Go figure.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And that was, now recall, don't forget now, did we or did we not report that Portland all summer did not do what, Crazy V? What didn't they do? Do you remember?
A
They
damn
didn't
thing.
make any what? They didn't make any arrests. Not one arrest did they
Yeah.
make
They didn't do a damn thing. I
the whole
wonder
time
why.
that this was going. Uh-huh. And now all of a sudden they're confiscating and, picking up leftover riot gear and everything. Where did they go? They were just there a couple days ago. Now where did Antifa go? Are
I
they
don't know, but
afraid
it
of the?
is raining. Well, they've been out in the rain before.
Yeah. I mean, does this have to do with perhaps the National Guard coming down and they figured they weren't going to be able to be a match for them?
I have no clue. But people have gotten sick of it. People have gotten really sick of it. And it's not going well for the Antifa idiots. They're losing a lot of support, especially they're going to have to start losing political support from places like Portland where the politicians have their back and let them run wild
Right.
because if it keeps up like they're going to lose the court case about National
yeah,
Guard
did we have that
defending
up
the
yet?
federal property. So they're going to have to
Right.
back off. They don't have a choice.
Right. Do we have that up? Do we have that article?
No, because I don't think we have much info on that, or at least I didn't see you send any over.
Okay, so there's going to be a Supreme Court case that's coming up whether or not Trump has the right to send the National Guard into these cities. And if anything, the one of the statements being made is that Portland has erred in cleaning up the city because they just proved to the Supreme Court that the whole time this could have been done, albeit not having the National Guard. So the fact that the city has chosen this sanctuary status and has permitted this lawlessness to occur in the city,
Mm-hmm.
they believe is going to give Trump the right for him to send in the National Guard into any of these violent cities. So
Yeah.
they think they made a big mistake by doing this, and we'll see. So I just hope
Mm-hmm.
that the Supreme Court has some sense. Well, we know one person that doesn't. Well, maybe two, maybe three.
Or 3, or 100, and however many there are.
Yeah, we'll see how the court case goes, but when that ruling comes down, we'll let you know. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
One
Anything else on
second.
that?
On this part, no.
Okay.
One second. I'm adding something to the show notes from the Discord that you sent. It goes along with something else we're covering if we get to it today or not.
Okay.
So either way, it's going to be in the show notes. So
Okay.
next, we're still on the topic of Antifa assholes. This will be worth it. Let me do this. And we get a 6-minute video from Liberal Hive Mind about the Patriots standing up to some of these Antifa people, and it turns into a bit of a brawl.
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right, folks, so the Patriots have showed up, and, well, it's kind of all-out chaos.
Yeah. The police may be nice about not hitting back. Civilians can most definitely hit back and defend themselves. So.
Yeah, just saying.
Who the hell's singing Happy Birthday? And why?
I don't know.
This is my zone. Stay out of it. This is my zone.
See, it's just madness happening.
Antifa! Antifa! Antifa!
Ooh, I heard a taser. Someone got tased.
Hey guys.
No fascists allowed in camp. No fascists allowed.
Good thing I'm not a fascist. Good thing I'm. Why would I go around? It's a public sidewalk.
Fascists aren't allowed here.
Well, good thing I'm not a fascist, or I actually hate fascists. Like you guys.
What's wrong with you? Come in.
I don't know. Look at you. You're blocking a public sidewalk. What's wrong with you guys?
Take that helmet off! Take that helmet off! Take that helmet off!
And in every single one of those situations, and those are just the ones that were caught on camera, the Patriot presence was simply just standing there. And time again, you get groups of masked agitators wearing helmets, covering their faces, piling up like a damn mob, intimidating people, harassing them, and then of course, out of nowhere, just punching them in the face. And from what I understand, what's being reported on the street, mostly from Cam Higbee, there were multiple incidents. Cam Higbee himself at one point having his cell phone smashed.
Stop!
Let's see the mask, buddy. Let's see the face.
Stop it!
Let's see the face. Yeah, he's down without a mask.
Leave this guy alone. Stop it right now. Stop it.
Phone's broken again.
You good?
I hope they have good insurance on their electronics, like their cell phones.
Yeah, I would think they had to have coverage. It'd probably get to the point of, well, how did you break this?
Again.
Uh-huh. Yep. I agree.
The keyword is going to be again.
Yep. I agree, cannabis. Trump 2028. Let's go.
Oh my God. But it's about time people are starting to counter protest.
Yes, they are.
It's about time. What sucks is that people are getting hurt, but it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. It was only a matter of time.
And given that they're, Antifa or whoever these agitators are supposedly supposed to be, given that they're masked, helmets, and who knows what else, against regular civilians, is it any wonder that somebody's going to get hit?
No, it's not.
And I wonder who threw the first punch.
The person who probably couldn't back it up. That's what I would go with. So, all right, let's get through this because I'm telling you, I'm amazed it hasn't happened sooner.
My camera shattered. Face on camera, he broke my phone. I'm done with the property damage. I'm done
Hell
with
yeah.
you breaking my.
The cops ain't going to.
And again, the same MO, an individual hiding behind the mask, wearing the gear, trying desperately to keep his identity hidden. The proof is once again being exposed. These are not protesters. They're left-wing street enforcers, engaging in violence or celebrating violence with their typical sewer rhetoric. Many of them on the streets still spewing bile, mostly celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And now, of course, the obvious question is, following what we've been covering over the last couple of weeks, what the heck is Portland police doing? You got Antifa goons all over the streets intimidating people, mobbing up on people they disagree with, smashing their phones, in many cases assaulting them, just like we saw with Andy Ngo years ago. Actually, speaking of that, I had a clip that I unfortunately lost, but just an innocent bystander, a journalist who wasn't representing either side, got punched in the face multiple times yesterday and had a bloody nose. It's happening constantly, and apparently the police know. They're fully aware. They're getting calls. And yet once again, we see there's a stand-down order when it comes to dealing with these insurgents. Again, Cam Higbee hits us with the receipts. I'm relying on a lot of his journalism, by the way, so you guys should definitely follow him on X. I'll put his social up here. But he released this text message chain. Look at this. It seems the Portland Police Department was informed explicitly about what was going on the streets, and yet they did nothing. They admit that they got a call on the board for 6 people fighting. He claims that it wasn't 6, but rather 20 plus, a riot. They got repeated calls, and yet no police presence ever even showed up. It even gets deeper as Cam Higbee is claiming that he heard on the police communications on scanners that they received a stand-down order, and so you had a multiple-hour window here where masked militants were roaming around, intimidating the Patriot presence, attacking them, multiple assaults, one woman getting punched in the face, Cam Higbee getting his phone smashed up, as well as many other assaults, and the Portland police, didn't even want to lift a finger. And I love the way they claim that they received reports of brawls happening. Yeah, brawls. Obviously, that's...
Go ahead.
That's grounds for a lawsuit.
Oh, it should be. You can sue the hell out of the city for that shit. But
Right.
will the Portland courts uphold it? No.
Oh, probably not. It would have to get kicked up further, up the chain.
Oh, yeah. Nothing's going to happen in the locals.
Right.
And that's sad, because it shouldn't happen like this. What are the police so afraid of? Fuck the order, the stand-down order, do your damn job.
Oh, well, they're worried about getting fired for not following orders.
Seriously? In a place like that?
Uh-huh. Because they still have their job for doing nothing.
They get a paycheck to do nothing.
Exactly. They don't have to go into any altercation. They don't have to worry about getting hit. They don't have to worry about getting punched. They don't got to break anything up. They don't got to get tear gassed. Whatever. They get to stand back with their hands up in the air. We were told to stand down.
Yeah, it's still bullshit.
I know. Yes,
It's
ma'am.
absolute bullshit.
Yep.
All right, I know we got two more minutes of the video, but I can't believe they were told to stand down again.
Mm-hmm. That's been all summer. They did not make all summer. They did not make one arrest all summer. We're not talking one day,
Mm-hmm.
1 week, a couple weeks, 1 month. We're talking the entire summer this shit went on.
It's pathetic.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
glad I don't live there.
And it's going on in Chicago. It's going on in New York City. It's going on in Philadelphia. It's going on in San Francisco, San Diego. Where else?
Los Angeles.
Yeah, LA. I mean, and this is just places that we are aware of.
It's bullcrap, putting it honestly.
Yep.
All right, let's hit play.
Obviously, that's the wrong word. The word brawl implies mutual. But what we're seeing time and time again is patriots showing up, holding space, documenting what's going on, trying to engage with people on ideas, discussing peacefully, and then Antifa crossing the lines, assaulting people and damaging their property. Not to mention, they've got illegal encampments, they're blocking public sidewalks, not allowing people to walk through, and yet the Portland police doesn't give a crap. They give them free rein to do whatever they want. These are public spaces that the government should be keeping safe and orderly, but instead they allow these illegal encampments. They allow Antifa to take over entire city blocks, to direct traffic, to block traffic. And then when they get reports of people being assaulted on the streets, they go, people just brawling, people, mutual combat on the streets. All officers are told to stand down. Once again, it's a pure illustration of what's going on here. You got conservatives who are peaceful, who just want to be seen, who just want to offer a counter presence. They want to show up and speak, and the left doesn't want to debate. They just attack. And the corruption goes all the way to the tippy top. The city is just looking away, allowing it to happen. When the evidence surfaces, they pretend it doesn't exist, or they claim that it's, a conspiracy theory. It's absolutely backwards. It's rotten. And I'm just glad that, we're starting to see more patriotic presence. People aren't intimidated anymore. They're showing up. They're standing up. They're not cowering. They're not running away. They're meeting these Antifa insurrectionists, these insurgents, face to face, head on. They're engaging in the right way. They're not starting fights. They're, of course, defending themselves, but they aren't starting fights. They aren't attacking people. And the left, of course, as per usual, they're exposing themselves. The violent rhetoric, the calls to violence, the celebration of Charlie Kirk's murder, and then, of course, the explicit violence, the actual assaults, the damage to people's property who are acting peacefully and innocently. It's the perfect contrast. It's left versus right in the modern day, and I just love that it's being highlighted. Of course, please stay safe, but the Patriot presence is working wonders right now and fully exposing the truth. The left very obviously has no moral ground to stand on.
They have zero moral ground to stand on is an understatement.
Well, the one thing I don't like about all of this is somebody could get seriously hurt or die.
Oh yeah. That's what it's going to take to get the police involved.
Exactly. And I don't want to see that happen to anybody.
Mm-hmm. No one wants to see it, but it's happening, unfortunately.
Right. And something serious is going to happen, and it's just going to be to whom and how.
That's the scary part.
Right. And is that going to be enough to stop? I'm not sure.
I don't know. That's a good question.
We've seen time and time again, the assault on Trump, the death of Charlie Kirk, other calls to violence against the right. I have not, again, we're putting it out there. Anybody has anything that the right is doing unto the left, please share it with us. We will certainly be more than willing to discuss it. but I have not seen the right uh, do anything like the left has done.
I
If any,
know. I'm not seeing it either.
yeah, in anything that we've looked at or researched or found. Um, but it's a scary thing. Somebody is definitely going to get hurt,
Hmm. It
you know,
sucks.
big time. I mean, and all it takes is one punch or the wrong way.
Hmm. You and I, who've been trained, know how dangerous it is
Yep.
and why you have to be a controlled fighter. You can't just black
A man,
out and start throwing punches.
right. And a man that's going to hit a woman, the force that is, well, depends on what type of man. I guess we should preface that by saying that hit that woman, uh, he could have done serious damage to her.
Hmm.
When you've watched some of the violence where somebody has been down on the ground and they're kicking them in the head, and then you see person after person with the mob mentality kick in and just go all out warfare on somebody, that is a scary thing to witness.
Hmm.
So we can only hope and pray that everybody stays safe as they're out and about in these whacked cities. That's all I could say. And like you said, Crazy B, I'm glad I don't live there.
I live in a small town. Like I've said a million times, my entire county's got 20,000 people.
Right,
Half the county lives in our town. The
right.
rest are farmers and other little small village things that don't even have but a gas station to stop at.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm so glad I got the hell out of Michigan where I was living in the city because it's bad and I don't want my kids around it.
Right,
I'm glad my kids are out of school now, but it is. Could you imagine my kids in their last year of school in an inner city school?
nope.
It would be bad right now if we hadn't moved here 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Under Biden, they would have been harassed, bullied, attacked, possibly. I'm glad we got the hell out of there and got the kids safely out. God closed all the doors in Michigan. I was pissed. I didn't want to move. I don't want to have to move. I was angry. Didn't realize it was for a reason.
Right, absolutely.
And I've said it to all my friends on Discord. I wouldn't have met any of you if I hadn't moved from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So thank God for closing all those dang doors and getting me the hell out of there.
Yep, I hear you. All right, what do we got up next?
We have some kind of illegal immigration scam thing going on.
Oh,
You sent this over. It is 20 minutes, but we can cut it if it's,
yeah,
and they can finish
redundant.
watching on their own.
Yeah.
But
Now there'll be more to this to follow. Uh, but this is the start of it. And fortunately, I am still sick and down and out, so I was hoping to be able to rant and rage today and tomorrow, but probably going to wait till next week because I only got my new antibiotics and additional steroids tonight. So let's see
and
what
I'm
this.
still kind of under the weather myself, so you're
Oh,
not hearing as much of my typical
yeah.
running
So,
my
oh
mouth.
yeah, we forgot to preface this segment by saying
We're all sick.
not only that, but if I fall asleep, Crazy B's supposed to wake me up. If she falls asleep, I'm supposed to wake her up. If we both go down, chat, you're on your own and have at it. So,
It'll
uh,
shut off on its own after 4 hours, I believe, 3 hours, something like
right,
that.
yeah, right. So, just so you guys all know, we're both just down and out, but I'm sure that my blood pressure is going to start to go up as you continue to play this. Go ahead.
Alrighty.
We are
Yeah.
back on No Border, No Country in McAllen, Texas at Border School for FAIR. And Matt, we've got a big star here today.
We do. We do indeed. So, for our audience, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Ben Burquam with. Want me to hold it? You want to hold it? Okay. I run an organization called Frontline America, and then I also am the national correspondent for Real America's Voice News, report for Steve Bannon's War Room.
You're being far too humble, Ben. Let me translate that a little bit. If you follow the border at all, this is the guy. This guy has spent more time at the border than maybe anyone. And I find your content on Law and Border very entertaining and interesting. I was just watching your most recent one. You were at LAX and you said some guy flipped you off at the airport.
Yeah, and did the full Zig Heil.
Yeah.
So this, the crazy left, the radical left. I know you guys. I don't know if you guys can get political. I will, if you can't. So we've got radical leftists in our country, communists, Marxists. Now there's this unholy alliance between them and jihadists in our country that want to destroy this country from within. And they go around saying President Trump, anyone like you or me who supports immigration, illegal immigrants, illegal aliens being removed, and only following federal immigration law, that we're Nazis. And the irony is, it's exactly the same people that call us fascists, the same people that called Charlie Kirk a fascist and then murdered him for his political views. This guy with this mental illness in LA, I get off the plane, I'm wearing my MAGA hat, and this guy does a full salute, the Zig Heil salute, but they're calling us the fascists, they're calling us the Nazis, and so it just, to me, it's projection. They say that we are what they actually are inside, and so I expose them in Law and Border. I have the honor to be able to go. I call my reporting show and tell. So no one else was doing it. I used to live in California. A couple years ago, we moved back to America. Live in Arkansas now, but it's my joke. But it's not too far off. I mean, some parts of California are worse than foreign countries. But I was two things. First off, I started off as an activist because there were no one on our side that were confronting the left for their treason and their insanity destroying our country. So I started off with that. Now, I guess you call me a journalist. It's all opinion. I see the world and I report based on how I see it. But I just was like, okay, there's problems. Let me go see what the problems are. Let me film it and tell you what I think the solutions are. And so that's why I call it show and tell journalism. I just show you, I tell you. And for that, some people love me and some people hate me.
Now, we all know the border was a nightmare under Biden. I mean, just absolute hellscape. What is it like now? What are still the problems there?
Yeah, and just going back to Biden and the Democrats, the puppet string pullers under Biden, this was all intentional. There are activist organizations in our country, many of them masquerading as non-governmental NGOs, nonprofit, humanitarian organizations, who are actively working to undermine our country from within.
So all of our tax dollars that go to NGOs are working against us.
Yes, and we've known that since the exposure in New York City.
Mm-hmm. Yet, so many people are not pissed off enough about it. None of our politicians seem to be pissed off about this.
No, because I believe they're getting some type of kickback. Many of the politicians' spouses have a NGO, or they are represented by an NGO, or they're on the board of directors of an NGO. So there's certain, I'm going to call them kickbacks, that they get from it.
That's all it can be called.
Yeah.
Besides bribes and payoffs.
Correct. So
But it's absolute bullshit.
And again, the American people are not being served. And I
No,
think
we're not.
most Americans are under the impression that the tax dollars are going to Americans, and that it is not. In so many
I don't think it has been for a long time.
We put it out there. We keep telling you the money is not going to the American citizen. It is going to approximately 30 million illegal aliens in this country.
Time to
This gets
maybe have
yeah.
another tea party.
Well, this is going to get worse. It gets
This
worse.
time it doesn't have to be Boston Tea Party. It can be everywhere Tea Party
I
all
don't
at
know.
once.
I don't know what it's going to take for. Well, I think part of the wake up call was by Trump getting reelected. I think
Yeah, but the politicians still aren't changing. They're just laying low until it blows over.
that's correct. And that's what most of the people in government that hold these, and that goes from a janitor all the way up, they're just biding their time.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't biding now a appropriate word, huh?
Yes, it is. They're
Well,
just waiting for this to blow over so they can start doing what they were doing all along. And
that's
I'm talking both parties,
right.
not just the left, the Democrats or the Republicans.
It's
Both parties are
right. It,
doing this shit.
that's correct. Hmm.
So, all right, let's hear more about how this is working out and how this continues. Hopefully, that's what this is about. I'm not really sure because all I did was make sure that the closed captions matched or didn't look funny. There might be some that are off. I try not to pay too much attention to it when I'm editing beforehand. So here we go.
They've been doing it for 60 years. They really, the sanctuary movement 40 years ago plus started out of places like Chicago. They were given the green light to implement their policies. It was, perfect world for them. They got to do everything they wanted. They made billions of dollars on it. And we saw the largest invasion in global history, not just American history, global history. They admit to 11 million illegals coming across. My estimate, when you take the gotaways, the unknowns, it's probably somewhere in the 15 to 20 million. And now we're going back. So first off, the border is secure. President Trump has stopped the bleeding. That's number one, what he's allowed. And this goes back to the lie that they couldn't stop it, that they had operational control. First, that was that lie. And then it was, oh, well, we just can't stop this. We're doing everything we can. No, they caused it. It's
We
not.
need a major piece of legislation
Yeah,
to
So,
close the
I
border.
blah, blah,
Crazy
blah. We
B,
need a
just
piece of
stop 1
garbage
second and let me
legislation
get this off
to
my
make
chest.
it worse.
Go ahead.
Let me get this off my chest. These two guys have this podcast. They have this well-renowned person on here, and we're using the teeny tiny mic. Really? That's the best they had to offer? I can't help myself, sorry.
I'm
If
using a
please,
secondhand store purchased mic.
I mean, come on, guys. If you're, and even your
Get a
drape in
third
the back,
mic.
get your drape in the back with the wrinkles out of it too. Come on, make it fit the room. Oh, please.
Women pay attention to details that most men wouldn't think about.
I mean, please, just some basics. Like, let me hold this tiny thing that could pop right out of my hand and smack you in the face. Oh, Lord, help me.
They'd probably laugh at that and do it for fun
Uh huh.
afterwards, about 6 times
Yeah,
before stopping.
yeah, probably. I'm sorry, I can't. There's just some things that
But
just
I'm going to point out that's the difference between men and women. Women are detail oriented. Men don't necessarily pay attention to those details because they don't make a difference. It doesn't change their recording. They're getting their voices. So why do they care?
because I can't pay attention to the voice when I'm looking at this.
Uh, look away from the screen until it's done.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what to say. That's again. But then there's others you could tell that their wives or their girlfriends have had a say in the scenery because it's so neat and organized. And like, I know men can, but you can see the woman's touch in it. This needs a woman's touch.
It needs more than that. It looks like the walls are closing in on them from the side, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Uh,
does because of the gap between the
right,
curtain and the
right,
walls. Yep.
right. Uh,
Hmm.
anyway, it's the mic that does it for me, that he's got to hold it, you know. to-
I don't know why they don't have a third mic.
I
That
know,
really is what's weird.
yes.
So,
Eh,
it could be
Sorry.
worse.
Worse is what they were asking for, and to be able to say we're making it better. They caused it. And the way you can tell that they caused it was because President Trump stopped it, immediately stopped it. And all it was consequences. I've done several ICE ride-alongs in beds, several Border Patrol ride-alongs, which we couldn't do under Biden. And I asked the same question: what's the major difference between now and then? And the overwhelming answer I get is consequences. If there are consequences for your actions, whether that's coming across illegally or smuggling somebody, you were less likely to do it. And so we've seen the fake asylum seekers that were trained by Catholic Charities and the rest of the NGOs. We've seen that stop because they're not being allowed into our country. We're not doing paroled release, so there's no incentive for them to come across because they know they're going to get deported. That has stopped. The biggest problem we have now is going in, and you can use whatever analogy you want, but to me, the best one I have is we're trying to go in and we allowed the water to pour into our country. Now we're trying to go and pick it up with chopsticks to remove it, and that's what we're at right now. Border Patrol, ICE is having to go in and get these guys one at a time when they were let in 10,000 at a time. So the bleeding has stopped, but we're nowhere near out of the woods. And my biggest concern is 2026. If we don't get these elections right, everything Trump's done in the executive orders can be undone in the next administration. But that's where we're at right now. So we've got to arrest the politicians and the NGOs and the people that are aiding and abetting the cartels and trying to prevent ICE from doing their jobs.
Oh,
and then we have
hold
to
on.
pass legislation that rather
I
than
gotta
just
pause
right now
for a
we have
second.
2 forms of.
He was talking about arresting some of the politicians. I have been seeing low-level politicians getting arrested
Yeah.
for a lot of things, and that is, I'm setting those aside in case we get enough to cover.
Right.
But I sent you one earlier today. A lower-level politician got busted for, what was it? Embezzlement, fraud, and something else.
The problem is
So
it's always the low-lying fruit that gets arrested. We need
not the ones at the
uh,
top.
yep. So what's that saying? You got to get the snake by the head or bite the
Yeah,
well, I forget how
but
the saying goes, but you know what I'm talking about, where we need to get some of the big fish. How about that?
need to kill it. Well, here's the thing: if we're getting low level, we'll eventually get rid of the high levels. And
Typically, no. They'll just
well, because listen, they're all going to die at some point.
well,
Okay,
yeah,
old age, whatever. They're
and look at
eventually not going to be in office. But if
yeah.
we start voting in the right people at the low levels who are going to
Well,
eventually take those high levels, it will help.
well, that's
We need to, I wish we could tackle both at the same time,
right.
but honestly, it's a lot harder to get rid of a federal politician than it is a state level one.
Yeah.
And it's just frustrating as all hell. Why can't we just wipe them all out from office and start fresh with honest people? That would be the best route.
I mean,
But I don't see it
we
happening.
have elections coming up on Tuesday, as I mentioned earlier, and I
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you, here in Pennsylvania, it's going to be all Dems. We might get one Republican, but it's going to be all Dems voted back in again. Nobody
Did
gives.
you already vote? Did you do your voting?
I said on Tuesday, dear.
No, they're not doing the mail-in ballots for the locals.
They are, but we go to actually vote. I
Oh,
ain't.
you go in person.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I would never do a mail-in vote.
Well, I have used mail-in because I can't always get out because of my
Yeah,
back and stuff. So
I
that's why I will sometimes do mail-in.
remember Pennsylvania was the swing that broke with the whole mail-in ballot situation. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't trust them as far as I could frickin' throw them. Allegheny County was one of the most corrupt uh, for mail-in voting issues around. So I would never mail-in vote. Cripe, I have a canary just with the way we do conduct our voting. First it was by computer, then we went back to paper, then it was computer and paper, then we're back to paper. I, all that stuff has to be transported, uh, whether it's via the computer machines itself and somehow somewhere downloaded, and then you have your hard copy paper that's supposed to get destroyed but Who knows where that goes? The whole thing is suspect. We need to do what we talked about earlier, and that is pick a day, make it a federal holiday to vote. No mail
Hmm.
ballots unless you meet specific criteria. This whole thing that, oh, I'm inner city and I can't get out. Bull crap.
In my case, there's very much a reason. If I am having such bad back spasms,
Well, I just
unfortunately,
said
on that day.
specific if you have a health didn't I say
Yeah.
specifics?
No, you just said there's no excuse in inner city that you can't get out, but I can think
But
of
I'm
a few
saying
reasons.
for
But
those
yeah,
people that are claiming that I live in an inner city and I cannot get out to vote is no reason.
no, there's plenty
It's
of ways
not
to
valid.
vote.
That's correct. But if you're somebody that has health concerns or you're elderly and you can't get out, but this
Hmm.
whole just give me an entire 30 days to cast my ballot via,
That's bullshit.
yeah, it's just unacceptable. I don't know how anybody says otherwise. And in Pennsylvania, they had both the Republican House and the Republican Senate and still failed to pass
Hmm.
the, yeah. So you tell me who's not corrupt here. Yeah, right.
Everyone's corrupt. I've said both sides are corrupt. We need to get them all
Yeah,
out and
right.
find people who aren't.
Yep. So I don't know.
It's scary.
It's very scary. And then we need the term limits because if not,
Oh,
we're going
yes.
to get them in young, and we're going to have what, a AOC, a Jasmine Crockett that could be there for the next 30 years, turning into
Or
a
longer.
right, a Nancy Pelosi, a Maxine Waters, a Mitch McConnell, a Lindsey Graham. Do we need to get on the list?
No, because it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah, it has.
Oh, you should not be a lifetime. It should not be a career
Nope.
politician.
Nope.
You want to you want to do something as a career, find something else besides politician. We need it to change up. We desperately need honest people and get the corruption out. Don't give time for corruption to set in.
And not only that, but after you leave, there probably should be some type of what's the word? Where they're not permitted to go into certain industries.
Oh,
Uh, yeah,
restrictions. There should
thank
be some
you. Yeah,
restrictions.
there should be some restrictions on where exactly you can go work. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, you have a Nikki Haley who was the ambassador, and then she leaves and goes and works for what? The wartime industrial complex.
Mm-hmm.
So something has to be done, but nobody wants to take that by the horns. And who's
No,
going to
because
vote
they make
for
too
it?
much money off of it.
Yeah, and who's going to vote for it? They're not.
Not.
It's not going to pass. And so, in those types of cases, I believe that should be a referendum on the ballot during a general election where the American people get to decide. So,
I want term limits.
correct. So, for example, should there be term limits? And if so, what does it look like? So, let's say we say senators get 7 years and that's it, or 6 years, whatever, eight, whatever the max is. The American
Mm-hmm.
people go in to vote and they go, yep. And whatever it is, that's what the answer is, right?
I
That's
think
what
that's a great idea.
that's what
To
needs
hell with
to
this. And
happen.
oh, by the way, I want everyday drug and alcohol testing. If
Yeah,
you're too intoxicated to drive, you're too intoxicated to legislate.
that's correct. And not only that, but your ass has to be in your seat, in your assigned seat. And you have to be
Yes,
to vote. If you miss so many votes, poof, be
you're
gone.
gone.
Yep,
You're fired.
yep. Your
Hmm.
constituents should not expect that type of behavior out of you.
If you were in any other job and behaved that way, you would have been fired long ago.
Correct.
You
So,
lied to get the job.
yep.
Literally, they lied to get the job. They lied on the resume,
Mm-hmm.
and they have not followed through with the promises made.
Correct.
So, peace out. Adios, good riddance. It was nice having you for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
Yep. Who's up next? So I really think that's the only way that we would get. And, I really don't know what it would take to pull something off like that. And if that is even a legit legal way to go about doing it.
It should be. I mean, the forefathers expected everyone to stay honest, or at least mostly honest.
Right.
Unfortunately, that didn't last very long. Corruption always sets in. I would like to see patches of people who paid the politicians. Oh, like in NASCAR, they have to wear they have to wear their sponsors on their suits. That would be great.
Uh-huh.
They have to wear sponsors on a uniform. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I
My
mean,
dad had mentioned something like that back in the 90s.
could we do? How could we get that on the ballot of term limits?
You have to petition the local to petition the federal level. Or you could petition straight to the federal. Whoever your senator or your representatives are.
Yeah, but I'm saying
are the people you go to.
Yeah, we would want that on the ballot though across the country. That's what I'm saying. That when people went,
we would have to get them to start pushing it. It would have to become a countrywide push to get that to happen. Good luck, because people are idiots and don't always understand what they support. Maybe we could take advantage of the left with that. They don't pay attention.
Look at what who to go to perhaps on that would be like a Scott Pressler. We should try him on the show. You know that? Because he did an excellent job. I think I might reach out to him. He would be somebody that would know how to get that done. That might be the only way that the country would be able to get term limits. You know that? As if it was put on the ballot.
Yeah.
Because
that's pretty much the only way to get it done.
He traveled across the United States. Wow. Okay. We could talk about that when we're done. That might be the only way to get something done like that. Because we talked about it. You know damn well nobody's going to vote for it in Congress or in the Senate. Because
but we need to push for it anyways.
Right. Yep. All right.
Because I'm sick of these jackasses running all this bullshit the way they are, screwing us over left, right, and center. I don't feel represented at all.
Neither do I. I'm a Republican and I have nothing but Democratic leadership. Do you think when I make a phone call they even pick up the phone?
No.
Do you know I told you what the Republican committee does here? Oh, let's have a picnic. Let's have a party. Yeah, okay. Jackass.
No. It don't work that way. I know. Our entire system is messed up, and it's, again, people have been so busy because they can't live on one income anymore. No one's keeping tabs on it. That's what got it this bad. Since World War II, it has gone so downhill because we've all been so busy trying to just stay alive. No one's really had time to pay attention to politics.
Oh, people have been paying attention.
Now?
No, just not the American people.
Well, yeah, that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Other countries.
It just sucks.
Yeah. Like the Somalians that live in Detroit.
Somalians live in Minnesota.
I mean Minnesota. Sorry.
It's the Middle Easterners who took over Hamtramck and Dearborn Heights.
Yep.
And Dearborn. But yeah, I get what you mean. It's a mess. And what's crazy is Hamtramck not even 30 years ago, 40 years ago, was a Polish community. About 40 years ago, it was it was predominantly Polish immigrants and Polish people. And then it became all Middle Eastern. It was insane how they just slowly move in and then move in their family, and their family moves in. As soon as the house goes for sale, they buy it and sell it to a family member.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It happens all the time. So,
And watch our
yep,
previous videos on,
immigration on that one.
yep.
And we
Alright.
still have more to come with those, by the
Yes,
way.
yes, we
It
do.
never ends because the immigration issues never end.
Right. And
Uh,
as we mentioned, it'll probably continue through the next election and beyond. We'll be
yep.
covering immigration till I probably die.
Unfortunately, because it's kind of going to continue to be a problem for the next 20, 30 years
Yep.
until this all gets sorted out. It may have taken 4 years to let all of this happen, but it's going to take decades to clean it up.
And not only that, but if a Democrat gets into office, this could easily be
Make
reversed.
it worse.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Let me hit play and see where this goes a little longer, see what more information we can gather,
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
Of removal, we have administrative warrants that they're using and criminal warrants. There's got to be something in between that allows them. On the administrative warrants, all they can do is knock and hope somebody answers. That's not effective. And the criminal warrants, they have to have a crime associated with it, where we're anticipating keeping that person incarcerated in America for a period of time. There's got to be something in between where we say, we know you're here illegally, we're picking you up, and we have the authorization to go into your house. So President Trump, Tom Homan, they're doing every day. It seems like they're trying something new to increase the numbers. Thank God they're in office and the alternative's not, but it's an uphill battle for sure.
So let's put some context on this, because this whole false moral equivalency with the Nazis, or the claim that Jesus was a refugee and we would never treat him like this.
Which is a
turn
lie,
him
by the
over
way.
ice. Exactly.
Egypt was under the Roman Empire at the time, same country. So
Yes,
anyways, just
exactly.
But they're go ahead.
So what we're talking about here, to put this in plain terms for our audience, is the Biden administration let in millions of bad guys. We don't know who these people are. We don't know what they're up to. We do know a lot of them are terrorists, a lot of them are criminals, and ICE is simply apprehending them and sending them back to the place where they do have citizenship in order to protect Americans. Now that contrasts to the Nazis, who took people who were German citizens and either threw them out of their own countries because of their religion, or sent them to death camps because of their religion.
Well, another layer on top of that, the actual Nazis of today, the ones that actually have any sort of political power, are Islamists. The ones that are saying they want to wipe Israel off the map are the ones that are marching with the leftists that are calling us Nazis. I mean, the world is upside down. It's biblical, though. I mean, they've replaced the truth with the lie. What's wrong is right and right is wrong. And so you're seeing that. And so I think we're at a really unique time in American history where America's getting to see, the world is getting to see, where they used to be able to hide behind their hypocrisy. There was a drumbeat enough to be able to say, you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi. Oh, you got a shaved head, you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi. And the general public would be like, oh, he must be a Nazi. Now it's, I've heard that enough times, and the people that they've called that don't seem to be that way. And in fact, their actions are more fascistic, I think is the word, than theirs are. And so there's this, we're seeing this paradigm shift. And we saw that with young people in particular, with the execution of Charlie Kirk, the political assassination, the terrorist attack on Charlie Kirk last week. We've seen more of that with young people in particular that said they were getting beat over the head in these communist education camps called public school. And then they started realizing, wait a second, the counterculture is really us. It's the people that think for themselves. It's not these people that chant mindlessly the same garbage that they know to be untrue because it's right in front of their face. Part of that was the border that woke a lot of people up to it. But there's just this, it's like my reporting. I see it with my eyes. You can tell me it's not true, but I see it. It's right there. And I think that's what people are starting to see. Wait a second. This is they're lying to us. Yes, you have those leftist groups pretending that they're Christian that are actually working on the side of the devil, in my opinion, because they're aiding and abetting the worst type of people. They're not protecting women and children. They're in fact handing, and that's what we saw under Biden. All these NGOs weren't protecting women and children.
I want to point out that NGOs and the Catholic Church helped the Nazis during World War II as well escape at the end. So you can't trust some of these organizations, even if they are claiming to be Christian organizations, because it's all about the money
Yes, it
and
is.
the power. It has nothing to do with the biblical teachings. And again, I hate when people use religion for these purposes because it just makes the religion look worse and worse every time.
Mm-hmm.
So, historically speaking, this is actually not the first time this kind of thing has happened. There, back in the World War II, Red Cross had no problem helping the Nazis get
Yep.
away at times,
Yep.
and it's documented. So, there's that.
Yep. And as I've
But
mentioned before, make sure that you know where your money goes when you donate it to places such as the American Red Cross, Salvation Army. Even today, I don't know about your area, but in our area, there was some issues with the secondhand or thrift store Goodwill. Um,
mm-hmm.
Items that you believed you were donating that were in excellent condition were being picked through by the staff. And they,
And staff kept the best of it and put the worst of it out there.
yes, and the staff was selling it on eBay and
Mm-hmm.
making money. So go figure. So make sure that you know where you're donating to. For example, there's a local women's and child for battered families to go to that,
Mm-hmm.
I have full faith in of stuff that's dropped off there versus I would take it there before I'd give it to Goodwill. In fact, I
Yep.
would burn it probably in the backyard before I gave it to Goodwill anymore because I don't
I
have
would just
patience.
find someone in need on the street, like, "Hey, do you need this? You need this?"
Here's a blanket. Here's whatever. It's
Yep,
just
vanilla donating has become a
it's a
tricky
business.
system too.
It's a business. Donating is a business now. Where it used to be for those in need, it is now a business.
And that's sad. It should
Mm-hmm.
have never gotten there.
Mm-hmm.
It just drives me nuts that people scam. They find a way to scam everything.
Everything. That's and see, that's my problem is I'm always like caught off guard, like, nah, get out of here. As you will see going further into this series that we'll be covering. Nuh-uh, how did they do that? I never would have thought of that. As try as I might, how do you scam a system? I don't know. I just don't. My mind does not go there for this shit.
How can I rip this off? Yeah.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Most people do not look for that kind of thing.
Right. But they.
Unfortunately, my children are really good at finding loopholes, and my daughter was in elementary school was great at exploiting them. My brother was too.
Right.
And the rules often got them in trouble, and I often got calls. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, really? Just because you can doesn't mean you should,
That's
became one of
right.
my mantras.
Hmm.
I love my family. I do. But oh, they put me through the ringer in their young years. They really did. And that's why, like, with helping with my brother and my nephew and stuff, I was prepared for when my kids came along. But I wasn't prepared for my exact kids.
There you go.
My exact kids, it's like, jeez, oh, Pete's. I love them. Oh. But let's hit play, and we'll go a little bit longer, and
Okay.
then we'll have to switch to something else because we're already at an hour and 14 minutes of time,
Okay.
and we're allotted only so much time, I guess, by the
Right.
thing. Yeah, I think we're only allowed up to 3 hours each
Right.
live.
Right.
So
Go ahead.
that's why we try to keep it at 2. So, all right, here we go.
Women and children. They were handing them over to the cartels to be raped. And the way I know that is because we actually got the rape kits that were being given out by the United Nations in Colombia before they went into the jungle, because they knew they were going to be raped. But instead of saying, stop, don't go, they said, here's a whistle, here's some condoms and morning after pills, because we know
It's
you're going to get.
insanity.
These are the same people. So I
That's
think,
messed up.
I pray
Wait a second.
that
That
I'm
is-
pausing. That is fucked up.
that is whatever organization did that, you guys are whack.
That is really messed up.
By name. That is messed up.
That's what they did to them. We know you're going to get raped, so here's the morning after pill, and maybe your rapist will be kind enough to use a condom.
Right. And
Really?
a whistle just in case. Yeah, like who's gonna Okay. Okay. Alright.
Wow. I'm sorry. That is bullshit. That they're going to send these young women and these kids out like that, and that's their only defense is a whistle.
Yep.
And here's some backup, because, they're probably not going to give two shits about you and do what they want with you.
I doubt very much they were going to wear the condom.
I'm pretty sure they weren't going to either. And that's what pisses me off. It's like, instead of protecting them from the trauma, they're like, well, we'll just protect you from the pregnancy that might come afterwards. Wow. That is fucked up. Wow. And some of these are claiming to be Christian or church-based organizations.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Let me hit play, because that is just got my blood pressure up.
I hear you.
The Haiti earthquake. Was there another one, or are we talking about the old one where they fucked up the donations to Haiti? I'm reading the comments. Sorry.
They have overplayed their hand, and we're going to see a major shift in America. But that's our biggest problem right now, are the enemies within our own country that have been given cover by both the media, by education system, by the courts in a lot of jurisdictions, to be able to aid and abet criminals, criminal activity against our federal government that's actually doing its primary oath, which is protecting the Constitution and the citizens of this nation. That's my biggest fear. And until there's prosecutions on those people and those organizations, and until we get law, not just executive orders, we're in still some major hurt.
So what do you think is different about immigration? Because if you stop and you think about any other area of law, if New Bedford, Massachusetts decided to declare itself a whaling sanctuary and start hunting whales again, the environmentalists would have a meltdown.
They should do that just for fun.
If Golden County, Texas decided to declare itself a Second Amendment sanctuary and require everyone to carry guns, the left would have a meltdown. Yeah. But somehow, when it comes to immigration, they think that they are entitled to exempt themselves from the immigration laws.
It's exactly what we saw under President Trump. When the federal government, it goes back to the supremacy clause, and the federal government was not doing its job. And so Texas came along and said, well, if you're not going to do it, we have an obligation to protect our citizens. And that went through the courts, and they said, well, that's a federal issue. You guys can't do that. Well, these same people that are saying, well, that's a federal issue under Biden, you have to let them in, are now saying, well, no, we don't have to follow this. This isn't fair. You're mistreating people. So we're going to give sanctuary. It goes back to the supremacy clause. I actually think, well, there's no question there was more justification for Governor Abbott, and I don't think he did enough, but every governor to say the federal government is not doing its job, we are being invaded, we're going to repel the invasion. I think there's definitely more of a constitutional argument for that than for saying federal government is doing its job and we just want to thwart that because we don't think it's fair. If this is one of the frustrations I have right now, I want to caveat this or qualify this. There's not enough being done fast enough to undo the problem that was done under Biden and the Democrats in the last 40 years. But at the same time, you still have a bureaucracy that you're trying to get these things through. I think if this was taken to the Supreme Court, there's no doubt about it. Supremacy clause would uphold President Trump. Sanctuary policy would be undone. You cannot pass legislation that goes against federal law if you don't have standing to do it, or if you don't have, your states can't do that. And so I think ultimately that will be decided at the Supreme Court level. I don't know why it hasn't been done yet. And until that happens, and until there's
I know
prosecutions,
why.
until there's consequences for these
Oh, let me
politicians
pause.
and municipalities that are.
You know why?
I know why, Crazy B.
Why's
Because
that?
they're worried that the Dems are going to then come in and pack the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm. It's a serious. This is one
And
of
it
the
doesn't
reasons
matter
that
nobody
having
can
a
hear me
two-party
and that I'm
system
talking to
sucks.
myself.
Nope, you can't hear me. You can't hear me. Shit. She'll be back. Gotta love technical difficulties. Okay, I can deal with that later. Uh-oh. Ah, can you hear me now? D, can you hear me? Oh, come on. Really? What is going on? Okay, D, can you hear me? D? Shit. Well, this is frustrating. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Um, whoops. Okay. It's FMUX is being stupid at this moment. Um, I got D on Discord. We're trying to figure this out. Hold on. Be patient with us, folks. It wouldn't be a wrecked Sisters Day without technical difficulties. Okay. Um. Okay. We're trying to do a device power off to see if that'll make a difference. Might have to call it an early night if we can't get this working. Okay, it looks like it's going to be an early night and we will pick up where we left off tomorrow. All right. It's look. We're gonna have to just She can't get back into EVMUX, so we'll pick up tomorrow and see where it goes. Gonna cut us early. It's about 35 minutes early. So I apologize. Technical difficulties. Yay. But we'll be back tomorrow. Y'all just take it easy. Stay safe. Stay sane. Stay sober. I had a little hidden thing in the video today. Yes, it does suck. I'm sorry. We're still trying to figure out what is going on with EVMUX. It's been giving us a lot of grief. We may be changing up our studio setup, at which studios we use. So y'all have a good night and we'll catch y'all tomorrow.